A very good evening to distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you to meeting number 4 of the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters is a platform where we learn to conquer our fears and grow into confident speakers. So let's begin this meeting with a poem on the theme of today's session, Conquer the Fear. Fear does come, quiet and slow. It whispers doubts and pulls you low. But courage is louder, strong and clear. It grows in your heart when you challenge the fear. A trembling voice can still speak strong, supporting the right instead of the wrong. The mountain may be high and the night so near, but step by step, you conquer the fear. So rise and stand whenever you fall. Fear will silence before your true call. For deep within you, the path will appear when you dare to believe and conquer the fear. I am Toastmaster Priya Singh, and I have the honor of serving as your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Before we begin, I'd like to highlight some of the important guidelines which will enable us enjoy a smooth and productive meeting. Our session today is of 2 hours, and you all are requested to stay till the entire duration of the meeting to get maximum benefit from it. Kindly ensure your camera is on and your audio is off during the meeting unless you need to speak or you are called upon to speak. At the Toastmasters International, while there are no restrictions on sensitive topics such as sex, religion, and politics, here at the Gabbys, we request all participants, speakers, and role takers to be mindful and refrain from expressing any controversial views on such sensitive topics. At the Gabbys, we stand by our club mission to create a supportive and positive learning environment where members build communication and leadership skills, resulting in increased confidence and personal growth. With that, it's now time to invite our presiding officer for today's session, who is none other than Toastmaster Samita Kar. She is a 3-time Triple Crown Award winner and has completed 3 pathways and regularly represents her club at area level contests. She is a dynamic soft skills trainer and has a dream to empower women leaders. She boosts confidence, communication, and careers. An avid storyteller and passionate traveler, she has her suitcase full of stories ranging from bathing elephants in Sri Lanka to the ruins of Nalanda. So let's hear it for our presiding officer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Samita Kar.
Thank you so much. Let us hear it for our Sergeant at Toastmaster Priya. Every single meeting, like today's meeting, she starts it off with a bang. And she has her suitcase full of those lovely poems that she brings. We are always eager to listen to what next is she going to give us, which story, which poem for the beginning. Thank you for such a lovely start, Toastmaster Priya. Toastmasters meeting is a place where we all come together to learn. Here we have our guests, and we always love to hear from our guests. So I can see we have Sudha Yadav. Sudha Yadav, can you please come on camera? And we would love to, are you a Toastmaster, visiting Toastmaster? Okay, we can't hear from her. Then we will go with Sachin.
Hello.
Yes, a quick 15 to 20 seconds of introduction.
So hello everyone. I'm excited to join this Toastmaster meeting. I am not a Toastmaster yet. I am joining as a guest, but I'm looking forward for my journey with Toastmaster International Club. And my one of my Toastmaster friends share this link with me, so I'm happy to participate in this meeting. Thank you.
Okay. May I ask from where did you get to hear from us?
Uh, my my friend Sanjay Talreja, who is a Toastmaster Palava Toastmaster Club,
Oh,
he associated with. Yeah.
okay, okay. Thank you so much. Please stay till the end of the meeting, and we would love to hear about how you enjoyed our meeting, and we would again come
Sure,
back to you. Yes,
sure.
I see guest Sagar. Guest Sagar, can you please come on the camera?
Yeah, actually,
Are you a
yeah,
Toastmaster, visiting Toastmaster, or a
yeah,
guest?
yeah. I was a Toastmaster. I was a vice president of education for TCS Maitri Toastmasters Club. Yeah, and currently I'm about to join one Toastmaster club. I'm just looking forward for the right time. Yeah, and
Oh,
yeah, I was from last 7 years, I was also actively in the Toastmasters fraternity. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
welcome to our meeting. Please stay till the end of the meeting, and we would love to hear from you then. I can also see Raji Raja Manikam. Are you a guest or a
Yeah,
Toastmaster, visiting
Samita.
Toastmaster?
Yeah, hi Samita. I'm
Hi.
Satish. I am the Toastmaster member of Diction Toastmasters Club.
We can't hear you.
Okay. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Raji, and I belong to Diction Toastmasters Club.
Okay.
I just
Welcome.
thank you.
Welcome to our club. We would love to hear from all the guests, but in the interest of time, I would love if you can put your introduction in the chat box. We would love to know from where did you get to hear about our Toastmasters Club. For the interest of the guests, a very quick information about the Toastmasters platform. This platform was started by Dr. Ralph S. Nedley in 1924, a platform for public speaking and leadership. But when I talk about Toastmasters, it's not only about leadership and speaking, it is so much more. And if we talk about Gabbys, it is one family having two clubs. One we have on Tuesday, that is the meeting which you are just attending, and one we have on a Saturday, which is again a hybrid meeting. We have an educational sessions, we have table topics and prepared speeches, lots of rules to be taken up and lots of learning in every single meeting that we have. I just take this opportunity to remind everyone to participate for the humorous speech contest and the table topic contest, which is coming very soon. Members, please give it up and make sure you are prepared to come and deliver your humorous speeches and take part in the table topic sessions. So today, it's a very interesting educational session we are going to have, something about which we are eager to know more about, because everyone, the world is talking about it, and we are very interested in knowing where we are going. But I will not do that work. For that, we have our educational speaker. And to introduce the educational speaker and take this meeting forward, we have the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kala. Now, Toastmaster Kala is working as a superintendent in a water board. She loves to play badminton, and her passion, guess what? Her passion is attending Toastmasters meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Kala. Put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Kala.
Thank you, Samita ma'am. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Welcome you all to fourth meeting of Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Today's theme says, conquer the fear. Dear Toastmasters, do you know the abbreviation of fear? F-E-A-R. F stands for what? Anyone of you? False. E stands for evidence. A stands for appearing. R stands for real. False evidence appearing real. Dear Toastmasters, in our day-to-day life, we are occupied by different sorts of fear. For example, I have a fear of public speaking. And I have a fear of water also. What about you? What makes you fear in your day-to-day life? Any one of you? Renu ma'am, what makes you fear in your day-to-day life?
I'm afraid of lizards. Lizards coming in my room.
Okay. Then Samita ma'am.
I'm frightened of what to say. I'm usually not frightened of anything, but yeah, if you tell me to climb mountains and all, I think so I'll feel frightened.
Okay. Toastmaster Priya.
One of the fears that I always had was of water, in the sense, I feel very claustrophobic and I fear that I might, sink, go down, drown kind of a thing. So I don't like to be in deep water.
Okay. Any volunteers? Toastmaster Sravan. What makes you fear?
Yeah, Toastmaster Kala. I'm scared of people who cheats me, who is dishonest. So these are very different fears for me. Maybe sometimes I feel that maybe we are living in a wrong world. That kind of fear I have.
It's better to be away from those sort of people. It's okay, Toastmasters. As I told you earlier that I had a fear of public speaking. And I'm an introvert girl and very nervous and shy in front of people. Because of this fear, every day I was facing many problems. One day, I thought to find solution for this fear. Therefore, one day I went to my boss and I asked, Sir, every day I'm facing many problems because of this fear. I'm facing anxiety, shyness, and many diseases. Then what is the solution for this fear? How do I can conquer this fear? My boss said, Kala, for next 3 days, you need to follow my instructions. You need to do what I say. After 3 days, I'll give you the solution. I'll give you the formula how you can conquer your fear. I was very happy. And next day morning, I went to my boss chamber and I asked. First day, my boss allotted a task that I need to meet 10 strange people. The task was very difficult for me, though I was an introvert, but still, it's an instruction from my boss. I accepted it and I went to meet 10 different strange people. Some people were very rude, but still, however, I managed. And I went to my boss chamber and I said I completed the task. And at the end of the day, I was a bit confident compared to previous day. My boss was happy, and with the same energy, next day I went to my boss chamber and I asked, "Sir, what is the second task?" My boss said, "You need to teach 10 students about the uses of water." Again, I was nervous because I had stage fear, but still I accepted the challenge and I went to meet 10 students and I taught them the uses of water. When I was teaching, my hands and the entire body was shivering, but still I was able to manage. I completed the task and at the end of the day, I was more confident than the previous day. I told to my boss that I completed the second task. My boss was happy. And the third day, I went to ask the boss. Boss, given the third task that I need to ask forgiveness with one of my friend. Once I quarreled with my friend for some silly reasons. So I thought to ask forgiveness with her. Finally, she forgave me. I was very happy and more confident on that day, and I went with the same energy to my boss chamber. And I asked, "Sir, I completed all the tasks which you have given. Now tell me the formula how I can conquer my fear." My boss said, "Kala, you already learned that formula. The tasks which I have given you through the tasks you have already learned. The formula is believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you will get confidence and you will conquer all sort of fear and you will win the world." Dear Toastmasters, since that day, I applied the same formula to conquer my fear. This is my story. What about you? How did you conquer your fear? Let us discuss it later. To take this meeting forward, dear Toastmasters, in any Toastmasters meeting, we have three main segments, that is prepare speech, table topics, and general evaluation session. But today we have educational session, prepared speeches, and general evaluation. Dear Toastmasters, to conduct today's general evaluation, we have a fabulous general evaluator. To say about today's general evaluator, has an experienced IT professional specialized in regulatory compliance and IT systems governance. He has been an active member of Toastmasters for over 3 years, having served as club president and immediate past president of TCS Maitri Toastmasters Pune. He plays flute and violin, currently pursuing masters in yoga. Dear Toastmasters, please put your hands together to welcome today's general evaluator, Sravan Kumar V.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kala. That was a wonderful introduction. I'm pleased with your introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, a happy evening to all of you. Everybody wants to grow in this world. Every creature on this universe wants to grow, isn't it? Similarly, as a Toastmaster, every speaker wants to become a better speaker for tomorrow. So To achieve that betterment, what we need is a honest feedback. As a general evaluator, it is my duty to evaluate all the quality parameters of this meeting. That includes the how much time it was spent, when it was started, when it was ended, and what kind of language it was used. So all these things I'm going to evaluate. To conduct this evaluation, I need a few supporting roles. Basically, we will evaluate the 3 to 4 parameters. First is time, how much time we took, and how much language evaluation. Second one is language, how the language was used. And the fourth one is how the listening, what is the listening capacity of the audience. So with to conduct this parameter evaluation, I have a supporting team. I'm going to introduce one after other. The first supporting team is a timer who is going to play. The timer role is Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. She is a project management professional with over 14 years of experience in finance and tech consulting. She's a passionate solo traveler and is currently on a journey to become an impactful communicator. Ladies and gentlemen, bring your hands together and let us welcome Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi, please introduce your role today.
Yeah, thank you so much, General Evaluator, for the warm introduction. So, greetings, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and our guest present today. So, as time is of essence for any meeting, so timer plays a very important role. So, as a timer, I'll be timing the 3 sections as mentioned by our TMOD earlier, which is our education session, prepared speeches, followed by the evaluations. So, for education session, we'll be having a time allotted of 15 to 25 minutes. At 15 minutes, I will be showing the green card. At 20 minutes, I will be showing the yellow card, and the red card will be shown at 25 minutes. Okay. Moving over to the prepared speeches, we have 2 prepared speeches today, one by Toastmaster Mamta and one by Toastmaster Renu. So the 5 to 7 minute speech, the green card will be shown at 5 minutes. The yellow card will be shown at 6 minutes, and the red card will be shown at 7 minutes. For the other speech, which is of 18 to 22 minutes length, 18 minutes I will be showing the green card. At 20 minutes, I will be showing the yellow card, followed by 22 minutes would be the red card. So there's a grace time of 30 seconds, both on the lower and the above limits, for all the speakers to wrap up their speeches. And I also, for the evaluations, I will be showing the green card at 2 minutes and the yellow card at 2.5 minutes and the red card at 3 minutes. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. I hope everybody understood the rules of the time. And she is the meeting controller, like traffic controller. Just watch her, how she is going to switch her timing cards. Next, typically we have a grammarian and a counter as a 2 different roles, but today we are merged together and made as one role.
Toastmaster Sravan, can we have this introduction later, like after the break, please? Can we give it to the TMOD for the educational session?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will introduce
Sorry.
the rest of the roles later. In the interest of time, I would like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster. Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A big round of applause to our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sravan Kumar. Dear Toastmasters, let us begin our first session, that is educational session. Educational session is very, very important to update ourselves. Therefore, today we conducted educational session on top 3 coolest AI techs of 2025. To conduct this session, we have a fabulous educational speaker. He is the man behind internet's most trusted tech platform, Gizmo China. He is also the editor-in-chief of Gizmo China. He has over 4 million monthly readers and fans in 200 plus countries. He does not report on the future, he is shaping it. As a full stack developer and founder of Press Analytica, a real time web analytics tool changing the game for digital, he seamlessly blends code with content, turning complex tech into stories that resonates. Dear Toastmasters, please put your hands together to welcome today's educational speaker, Joel Joseph.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kala. Thank you for this warm introduction. In this session, I hope I'll be able to share some insights on what's happening in AI in 2025. So I know we are short on time, so I'll start with the presentation. I'll have to share my screen first. So I'll just do that. Yeah. I hope the screen is visible. If yes, please let me know.
Yes, it's
Yes.
Okay. It's still visible, right?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be speaking at Gabbys Toastmasters today. I've heard of Gabbys. I've heard this is one of the most energetic and engaging clubs in Bangalore. So no pressure on me at all, right? Before we dive in, since it's the topic of I would love to get a quick sense of the room. What kind of AI tools are you using right now? If you have been using AI tools, I would love to read your responses in the chatbot first. Can you just share your the tools that you have used in the chat? I would like to look at it first. Okay. Okay, I can see a lot of tools from a lot of people. Wow. So it looks like AI adoption is going strong in this group. That's great to see. And I hope I can add a few more tools and ideas to your AI toolkit. And for those who have not used AI much, I hope this would be an introductory session for you to just try out what's happening, the latest tools that are trending in 2025. Now that I've got a feel for where we are, let's get to the real story. Welcome to what may be the most exciting year in AI history. While 2022 to 24 helped us discover AI tools like ChatGPT and DALI and Claude, 25 is the year when AI truly becomes intelligent, increasingly autonomous, and quite literally everywhere. For example, the image that you see here uh, in this presentation, it was generated with AI. This presentation was made with AI. Even the content that I'm sharing, AI did have a hand in shaping it. So the only thing that is not powered by AI here is me, though I did ask ChatGPT if I should wear this shirt today. So AI is influencing almost all parts of our life, at least for some people like me, but I'm sure it will influence a lot more people in the coming months. So today I'll just walk you guys through the coolest AI technologies that are shaping how we work, create, and interact with computers. I'll be focusing on three AI trends. Uh, One would be generative AI. Next would be agentic AI or AI agents. And then I'll also talk about AI PCs and smartphones. Uh, You've probably heard of you have probably heard of these tools before, and maybe some of you have used them. But my goal today is to go deeper and show why these technologies matter and how they're fundamentally changing the way we work. So let's move on to generative AI. Uh, so there are different types of generative AI, but before that, let's see what is generative AI. So the concept of generative AI has gained traction over the past couple of years, and I'm guessing most of you have used it as you have responded in the chat. But what exactly is generative AI? Simply put, generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that can create. So you give it a prompt, you say something in text, and it can give you a song, an essay, a story, a full-blown video. We'll see that very soon. So the idea of generative AI is not new. It's been here for a past couple of years. But what has changed in 2025 is that for the first time, it feels like we are talking to something that can write like us, think like us, and sometimes even surprise us. So that's how good generative AI have become. Uh, so there are let's categorize generative AI on the type of content that is produced. One would be text generation, and then there's image generation, audio generation, and video generation. I won't talk a lot on text generation, but I will just add that the kind of content that is being produced on text that is better than any ever before, which many of you have already experienced. But let's move on to something more interesting, that is image generation. This is something that not a lot of you might have uh, got your hands on. So that's why I want to focus on this more. So when it comes to image generation, there are currently a lot of tools out there like DALL-E, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, which can create stunning visuals from just one sentence. That's how good they are. In the early days, if you have tried them out, you would have seen that they had issues. Like the people generated and images had, like this is what you would have seen in the early versions of image generation. While the basic output looks decent, the details are missing. You can see the fingers are not proper, then the details on the face are not proper. So these are the kind of issues the earlier models had. But in 2025, things have changed for the better. The level of detail, emotion, and realism is jaw-dropping, and I'll show you with an example very soon. Let's quickly look at this image. So what you see here is an image of a designer clothes. This is an image. This is not even like a proper dress material. You just see this image and imagine what you can do with this as the input. So this is a good example because one of my friends is actually building a startup on this. And with this as the input, you get an output like this. Now, this looks like a real person, although it's completely AI generated. Look at the amount of detail, the facial features, the accessories, the background, the lighting. Image generation has become so good that it's very hard to distinguish between a real person and a AI generated person. Yeah. So since now that I've shown you how good image generation is, I'll move on to the next category, which is audio generation. Now, again, while some of you may have tried image generation, I'm pretty sure a lot less people have tried audio generation. But audio generation has become a lot better in 2025. So there are many categories in audio generation. I'll just look at two. One is text to voice, and the other is text to music. So text to voice is actually a very great feature for businesses, especially if they want voiceovers on certain things. I'll give you a very short example. So this voiceover was completely generated using AI. It's very hard to distinguish whether it was generated with AI. Just to confirm, can you hear the audio?
No.
You can't?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Audio we can't hear. Definitely the audio, no.
I guess I'll have to reshare. Just give me a second.
You have to select share computer sound on the.
Oh, okay, just give me a second.
This is old gen tech, so probably that's why you don't know.
Yes. Yeah, share sound. Okay, I'll play it again.
Stories are performing well and why they're succeeding.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay.
This is our in-house chatbot that combines your analytics data as well as your WordPress data and gives you insights on which stories are performing.
So as you can see, the voiceovers are so good. So you can use it for your business, and there's a lot of applications that can be done with audio generation using AI. But I'll move on to something more interesting, which is the next slide. Yeah. So there's this platform called Suno AI, and it's pretty cool. You can check it out later. But what it does is you give it a prompt, You give it an idea and it will create music out of it. For example, I had a very random idea of Gandalf the Grey having filter coffee in Bangalore. So that's what I thought. And it was just one idea. I just shared it with Suno AI. And what happened was I got this as the response.
Staff in hand, stepped off the flight, magic on my sleeve. Bangalore breeze, the city hums, I couldn't believe. Auto rickshaws, zip, chaos got a good. Who knew I'd do it? My source silk roads, but my hat stayed pointy. Crowd gathers round, yo, who's this joy be? Smell the coffee, thick air, sweeter than a ballad. Taste buds tingle like fireworks in a chalice. Found a cafe called the Destiny's Weave. Steel tumbler steaming, a potion you retrieve. Coffee, oh, wizard's delight. Sip of this brew, day turns to night. Magic in the cup, those spells require. Gandalf and Bangalore, caffeine inspired.
Yeah. So this was completely generated with one text, which was Gandalf the Grey having filter coffee in Bangalore. The lyrics was generated using AI. The music, the composition, the voice, everything was combined and produced by Suno AI. And it's free to try. You should definitely go and try it out. But this gives you a very good idea of how good AI has become in the past few months. You can generate professional level audio with simple prompts. So next, which is the most exciting leap in 2025, which is video generation. So this is where things have gotten wild in 2025. You have probably seen early versions of AI generated video which were often short, blurry, without good motion or physics. But now platforms like Sora, which is from OpenAI, which also has ChatGPT, and VO3 from Google, they have completely changed the game. Let me show you with an example.
Initial image output.
Yeah. So this is what you would have seen in an early version of video generation. So it's good. It's pretty good. But there was no audio. These video generators could not generate audio on its own. But now you can see the latest model.
Time we take care of this situation with Sal. You mean?
Yeah, so as you can see, this looks like a real clip from a real movie. It's very hard to distinguish that this was generated using AI. So that's how good this has become. So one of the reasons why this leap has happened, going a bit technical here, it's because the models now which generate video they understand the physics and camera movement much better. They can also understand storytelling. They can blend multiple modes. Like earlier, only video could be generated, but now video plus audio is generated. So that's why the quality is very good. Finally, there are huge improvements in computational power and training techniques. So the realism level is next level. And you would think that this would take a lot of time to generate, right? But you're wrong, because generating something as good as this or close to this doesn't take a lot of time. So there is this model from platform called VO3 from Google. It's free to try there's a trial plan on Google. You can try it out later. But what you can do is you can just give it a prompt and it will deliver a pretty good professional video like this. I'll just show you an example here again.
I tried making a Bangalore traffic joke, but by the time I got to the punchline, the audience had moved to Hyderabad.
Again, this was completely generated with AI. I had very little inputs, and it's very easy. You would think that this would take a lot of time, but it doesn't. It's very easy to generate such professional quality videos in a matter of minutes. In short, we have moved from something like, wow, AI wrote a paragraph, to wow, AI directed a short film with music. That's how good AI has become. The better your prompt or text, the better the output. So could you have imagined creating something like this a few years ago in just 5 minutes? So you can't, right? I mean, imagine where we'll be in the next couple of years as well. But video generation, generative AI is cool. But what really is going to take over the AI segment is agentic AI. So agentic AI or AI agents is something, it's a concept that have come up over the past 6-7 months. It has gained traction a lot. And it is cool in the sense that traditional AI would probably answer your questions. You ask it something, it would give you a very good answer. But here, AI not just answers your question, it can actually think, plan, and take action on its own, like it's your very own smart assistant. You give it a goal and it can act on your behalf to complete tasks. Uh, so what is special about agentic AI? So it works autonomously. I'll explain this with a very short example. Suppose you are planning a trip to Paris with an agentic AI. It would break down the tasks required for this plan, like looking for flight tickets, then booking the flight tickets, and then looking for hotel, planning and itinerary. Everything would be broken down into tasks, and it would execute it one by one. So it can access real world tools. So that's one of the biggest things. So it can actually go ahead and book tickets. It can go ahead and book hotels, and it adapts to change. Like, for example, if it was trying to book a ticket through Make My Trip, and suppose Make My Trip is not available right now, it is smart enough to go and try it on another platform, like say Go, and it takes action. It learns over time. So suppose usually you book a specific airline for your flight ticket. Like Emirates is your favorite airline, so you book tickets on Emirates. So over the course of time, it knows that Emirates is your preference, and it would book tickets for Emirates. So that's how smart agent AI agents have become. So I'll give you a couple of good examples of AI agents in action. So Perplexity AI, I've seen a couple of people reply Perplexity. They would already know about this. And then there's one more called Dia Browser. So I'll first show you a glimpse of Perplexity. So this is Perplexity. Think of it as something that is a smarter version of Google search engine. So Perplexity is also a search engine. So you ask a question and it will analyze uh, probably 20 to 30 websites on its own, and then give you an answer. I'll show you a demo, like what are the top smartphones under 50,000 in India. And this happens in seconds. So traditionally, for the same to answer the same question, you would have taken 1 hour of research going through probably 10 websites. But here, it simultaneously gets the data from 10 to 20 different sites. Then it assimilates it, and then finally you have an overview. Like here, you can see, okay, under 50, it's suggesting 13, 1 plus 13R as one of the models, GT7 as one of the models. So this is all from research. This is not AI knowledge. This is not inherent knowledge. It actually goes and searches, uses tools for finding websites and gives you an answer. So there's this deep research mode as well, which you can try out later. So what it does is it goes deeper into analysis and search. So it will search for 100 websites. If you want a very detailed report on certain things, you can go ahead and try this out, but it takes like 5 to 10 minutes. Still, it's very good. You should definitely try it out. One tip, so Airtel is giving a free plan to, yeah, there's a free plan going on for a year for Perplexity Pro for Airtel users. You should definitely go and try it out if you are an Airtel user. Again, this is not sponsored at all. This is just me sharing all the tools that I use. So next would be Dia browser. The browser that I'm using right now is Dia browser. So it's a smarter version of Chrome. So what it does is it has the context of all the tabs that are open. I'll give you a demo of this. So this sheet is in front of me. I can ask questions about this sheet, but I can take a step further. Like I can add in, I hope this is visible. I can add in two more tabs. So I have this tab open called uh, Section 44 ADA from ClearTax, the entire article, and then another tab on the tax slab rates from Economic Times. So you can just add these tabs as the context. And here you have, yeah. So once it has the context, I can ask something like, will David have to pay tax this year? That simple as that. Now it has the data of this particular tab. It has the data of the other two tabs. So now based on that data, it's not inherent data that it was trained on. You'll get an answer. So right now it shows like total tax payable is 46,000. Now this is based on the slab rate mentioned here. So it is pretty cool. Imagine the amount of, I use it for mails, to search a lot of things. Again, try it out. The links are at the end of this slide. I'll share it to you guys later. But moving on to the next segment, yes, which is AI PCs and smartphones. So again, one of the issues with these agents tools is that you have to connect to the internet. We have all heard these generative AI, agentic AI. They help us brainstorm ideas, generate images, write reports, and automate entire workflows. But most of the magic still depends on one thing, which is internet connection. That is where these on-device AI come into the picture, the AI PCs and the AI smartphones. It's like if you have seen Iron Man, imagine having your own Jarvis, like the one from Iron Man, running on your device, always available. That's exactly where we are headed next. So there are a lot of AI. If you think that there are not a lot of AI PCs out there in 2025, you're wrong, because there are a bunch of AI PCs right now. What defines as an AI PC is an additional component that runs AI. So traditionally, you might have heard of CPU, GPU, but AI needs a specific hardware to run efficiently, which is called an NPU, which is Neural Processing Unit. These NPUs excel at pattern recognition, neural networks, and mimicking brain processes. That's why they're very efficient at running AI applications. And that's also why we can actually run these heavy models on the device without draining a lot of power. So these NPUs have up to 40 T-flops or T-flops, which is 40 trillion operations per second. So that's how smart they are. And they are already in many of the PCs launched in 2025. There are prototypes from brands like Lenovo, where you have an external NPU that can be attached to an existing model. Even there are smartphones from brands like Honor, which has an on-device AI agent. Yes. So I'll give you a couple of examples of what on-device AI PCs can do. First, one of the more coolest feature is recall, which is like a digital memory. So it takes screenshots of your activity over the course of time, like weeks and months. This stays on your device. This does not connect to any external cloud or any other server. So it's private. And then you can search for anything that happened over the past 1 month. For example, if you saw a video of a recipe maybe last week and you don't remember what, you can just search like, what was that recipe video I saw last week? And you will actually get answers for that. So that's how smart these on-device AI PCs are. You can also use it for offline image generation. Currently, you have to rely on tools like ChatGPT and the Midjourney to generate it online. But now these models will be capable of, imagine like you can just type in a video of a man under an umbrella and you'll get an image of that on device. So what are the three benefits of having on-device AI, which is speed, of course, because there is no connection latency, no waiting for the cloud server to respond. Then there is privacy. Your data stays on the device, so it doesn't go out. And finally, it's always available. Imagine, have there been cases where you wanted to use ChatGPT and it was down? That won't happen with on-device AI. So that was the overview of what's happening in AI in 2025. To give you a summary of what we learned what was generative AI, which is AI that creates. We learned the four types of generative AI in terms of content and the latest trends in each of them. We also learned what was agentic AI and what are the coolest agentic AI products available right now. Finally, we learned about AI PCs and how they're going to make our lives better. So to end this, I'll just end this session by saying AI is here to stay, but it's not your boss or your replacement. So don't fear AI, steer it. The best way to use AI is by combining your judgment and goals, your creativity, your smarts with AI speed, memory, and scale. So that's how you'll be able to leverage it to the best possible extent. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So thank you so much, Joel, for such a wonderful session here. The XCOM is already trying out these tools. I just got a wrap from suno.com. I'll hear that later. However, I saw a few questions in the chat box, so there was one already there. In the meanwhile,
Okay.
anyone else, if you have any questions, please feel free to share the questions in the chat box. The question that is already there, I noticed that you mentioned a couple of tools which are already available, but what is Tara? What is Press Analytica?
So Press Analytica is basically, so many of you might use Google Analytics, and if you have used it before, then you know how complicated analytics can get. Just looking at a dashboard, then it's quite confusing to understand what's happening with your website. So Tara kind of integrates with Google Analytics and WordPress, and it gives you answers on your question like, what is my traffic today? So again, it uses agentic capabilities. It has multiple layers. It kind of self-corrects itself. So that you can ask simple questions like, what was my traffic? Why did my traffic fall? Okay, what would be a very simple question, but why did my traffic fall? Then it would actually get the data from analytics, your existing Google Analytics and your WordPress data, and then it would try to analyze why the traffic fell. So it makes your life, like personally, I use it on Gizmo China because there's like 4 or 5 million views every month, and it's very confusing for me. So Tara kind of helps me tone it down a bit to understand specifically what's happening on my website every day.
Okay, so Tara, I see Saurav laughing at the fact. Saurav, are you imagining Tara, or what's
No,
the
no,
rationale
I'm
behind
just, I'm just reading this comment by Prithpal that says that, if AI can do exercise for me, I shall live for 100 years. Actually, I have a question related to that. So
Okay.
can I ask, Nancy?
Yes, please go ahead.
So, see, this is extremely exciting, and I am someone who has been, I would say I'm not, I'm a kind of a techie person, if I may say. I use technology a lot. This is exciting, but it is extremely scary, right? And also, a more important question is that now, as a father, I'm now confused that should I at all send my daughter to school? Is there anything that she really needs to learn in school? Because, see, the problem what's happening is that all of us are feeling like idiots, right? So that's the reality. Okay, so people who have learned coding for years, they're feeling like idiots. People who have learned music for years. Just now, I created a rap music that Nancy talked about. I will play it during the break. You can't imagine how good it has come out. It's an inspirational music on breaking your fears of speaking. And I kind of my thing is that what about that ethical aspect of it? Like you did not talk about that at all. So
Okay.
where is the
Okay, so
line?
what is your question? Like, where is the
I don't
line? What
know.
is
I
the
mean, it's not a question, but it's like where is the line? All AI practitioners, what is the line? Where do we draw the line? Like,
I think the line is drawn over the course of time. This is a very experimental stage. Things are coming up, new tools are being added. The evolution of AI is every month there is something, or every week, to be honest, there is something new that is coming up, new models, new tools. So you can imagine this to be very similar to the internet age. Like when we didn't have internet, suddenly everything electric. No, actually, it could be as evolutionary as the invention of electricity, because everything became electric and suddenly you don't know what to do, right? So this is where we are. We are at a place where we are kind of scared because we don't know the potential. We are also scared that we might fall behind. We are also scared that, okay, this might take over. So it will take some time. Honestly, I can't specifically say that is what line can we draw, but eventually in the course of time we will definitely come to a stage where we'll know that this is not allowed or this is allowed. So it will take some time. We're at an experimental stage even now.
Thank you. Thank you, Joel, for the answer. We'll come to you, Shravan. I see your question in the chat box. Before that, I'll first read out Toastmaster Samita's question. That's what can be the negative impact of using AI tools, since we are talking about the positive
Yeah,
one.
so this is something very interesting question, because this is something that personally I also discuss with my colleagues. So one of the negative aspects is that we become lazy. Like even when I'm coding, I've learned coding for 5 years, but recently I've stopped coding. It's more like giving prompts and trying to see what AI generates. And after a point, Like this has been happening for 6 months. That's how good AI have become. But recently, what I did was I stopped using AI for a day, a couple of days. I just wanted to see if I can think and write code on my own, and it was a tough job. So I think, as I said at the end, we need to use it as a tool, not like a master. We don't have to. You don't write text and be like, okay, let it decide what to do. No, you have to be very specific what you want, and that's how you kind of remove the negative aspects, because you have to get smarter as well. You don't want the AI getting smarter and you sitting on your back and doing nothing. So I feel like you have to put in the efforts, but don't be scared of AI saying that, okay, there are negative effects. As I said, it's as good as having the invention of electricity. That's because it will change everything. Everything that you see right now will have AI at some point, and it's not a negative thing if you actually use it in the right way.
Thank you, Joel, once again. In the interest of time, I'll just keep it as the last question from Toastmaster Sravan. Sravan, I'll be reading out your question from the chat itself. Are there any tools to detect the original and AI generated content? Is there any scope to misuse these features? If so, how to control it?
Yes, there are. Definitely there are. It's currently it's easier. I would say it would become harder and harder later on. But even now, in the level of quality that you see, because the way AI generates, it's a specific pattern, and there are tools which can take out this pattern. For example, this year I was at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and they had this phone, Honor phone, which had AI agent and an AI deepfake detector. So if you are having a video call and if someone deepfake, I hope everybody is aware of deepfake. It's basically like AI version in front, and it's very hard to distinguish from a real person. So this tool could actually check if the image, the video, the person behind the video was a real person or an AI person, because there are certain patterns to it even now. But I can't promise later on it will be the same. It will get harder, but I'm pretty sure we'll figure out ways to combat that as well.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your answers to all the questions that we had. In case anyone has any other question, I see a few more questions in the chat box, like, can someone please verify if Joel Joseph is actually in the meeting, or has he
Yes.
cleverly deployed an AI clone and we're talking to a virtual Joel? So any such questions, please feel free to connect with him during the break time or in the chat box. He'll be around for some time. In the interest of time, I'll just hand it over back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Joel, specifically.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Joel Joseph. It's an insightful and impactful session. We thoroughly enjoyed your session. A big round of applause to our educational speaker, Joel Joseph, and Toastmaster Nancy as well. Okay, Toastmasters, now we have a 5 minutes of break. We will be back at 8:35. 8:32.
2 minutes break. 2 minutes break.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We'll be back at 8:30, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. Once again, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Let's begin the session. Before moving on to the next session, let's have a few minutes of recreation. Dear Toastmasters, I have a few questions. Let's try to answer these questions. The first question is, what is the fear of marriage called? What is the fear of marriage called? Who are unmarried, please try to answer this question.
Commitment phobia.
Gamophobia. Gamophobia. Okay. Next question is, what is the fear of public speaking called?
Glossophobia.
Glossophobia.
What is the fear of growing old called? Growing old. Gerascophobia. Gerascophobia. Okay. What is the fear of death is called? Any guesses? Okay.
Amophobia? Okay.
Yes. Thanatophobia. What is the fear of ghosts called? No idea? Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia. Dear Toastmasters, now I'll teach you some mudras. We all are facing the problem of fear every day. For this, I have a small remedy. These mudras helps you to control your fear and helps you to conquer your fear. Let's do it together. The first mudra is called Ganesh mudra. See, hold your hands. Bring both the hands in front of your chest. Right hand downwards and then left hand upward. Okay. Close your finger like this. Make it upward. This is called Ganesh mudra. We all know that Ganesha is the Lord which helps to overcome all the obstacles. This mudra helps to overcome our fear. Thank you all. And the next mudra is called Abhaya mudra. Abhaya mudra. Hold your left hand like this and then right hand like this. Abhaya mudra. As we have seen in Buddha's statue, this mudra says and shows that be calm. Come out from all your obstacles, all your fear. This gives us strength, energy. This is called Abhaya mudra. And the third mudra is called as Uttar Bhuti mudra. Hold your hands and cross your fingers. See, this is called Uttar Bhuti mudra. Please try to do it. Yeah. Hold your index and then thumb finger like this. Yes. Yes. This is called Uttar Bodhi mudra. This mudra also helps us to overcome our fear. With this, dear Toastmasters, let's move on to the next session, that is Prepare Speech session. Today we have two fabulous speakers. And our first speaker is attempting L1P2 speech. Speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. And the path name is Motivational Strategies. Project name is Writing a Speech with Purpose. Evaluators for this speech is Sreehari Acharya and Sourav Dutta. Evaluators, please confirm your presence.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, okay.
Present.
Our first speaker is attempting L1P2 speech. To say about our first speaker, she brings with her a unique blend of creativity and logic, being both a visual designer and an engineer. This rare combination shapes her perspective, allowing her to tackle challenges with imaginative flair and analytical precision. She also finds joy in reading religious texts, painting, and practicing yoga. Dear Toastmasters, please put your hands together to welcome our first speaker, Toastmaster Mamta Jain, and the speech title is From Swipes to Stillness. From Swipes to Stillness, Toastmaster Mamta Jain.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me begin with a question. When was the last time you went a full hour without checking your phone? No notifications, No updates, no quick scrolls. If you had asked me a few years ago, I would have said I don't remember. At that time, checking the phone had become my second nature. Wake up, check notifications. During breakfast, scrolling Instagram. Waiting in a line, swipe, swipe, swipe. Even during conversations, my mind was half in the app and half in the room. I didn't even realize how many hours I was on the screen. I thought I was just checking my phone, but in truth, the phone was checking me, controlling my focus, my peace, and even my joy. The breaking point came one evening. I was reading a book, just 5 pages in. I checked my phone, and then again and again. 30 minutes passed, and I had not even turned a single page. That day, I realized something heartbreaking. I felt disconnected from myself and the people around me. That evening, I closed my phone and opened my journal. I wrote one question: how can I stop living on autopilot and start living with awareness? That is when I discovered the idea of digital diet. Not a detox, not deleting everything and going to the mountains, but a gentle, sustainable shift from passive consumption to mindful living. Let me walk you through the small but powerful steps I took. These are not the tips I Googled. These are the habits now I live by. Now, I don't touch my phone for first hour after waking up. Instead, I sip warm water, I go for a walk, and sometimes I sit in silence. That silence gives me clarity. Earlier, I would click 40 to 50 pics on a family outing. Now just 3 or 4. One for the memory and the rest through my eyes. Now I have learned to be in the moment, not just capture it. Now my dining table and the bedroom are screen-free. Meals are for conversations, not reels. I have gone back to handwritten journaling. There is something magical about the flow of ink and the touch of paper. It slows you down, but in that slowness, you meet yourself. Every Sunday, I take a social media fast. No Instagram, no news apps. And guess what? The world survives and I thrive. Of course, it was not always easy. There were times I would reach to my phone without thinking. There were moments when FOMO would creep in. What am I missing out on? But gradually, something beautifully started to happen. I began to sleep better, my thoughts became clearer, and I had more time for conversations with family, more time to cook, to read, and to walk. My attention span returned like a lost friend. And most importantly, I began living with intention. So why am I sharing this with you? Because I know I'm not alone. We all have moments when screen wins, but we also have the power to take back control. Let me ask you, are you consuming technology or is it consuming you? Friends, a digital diet is not about escaping the world. It is about re-entering it fully, mindfully, and joyfully. You don't have to delete every app. Just start with one choice. A phone-free morning, a scroll-free Sunday, or a tech-free dinner. And slowly, you will notice you are not just surviving each day, you are savoring it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. It's a meaningful speech. A big round of applause to our first speaker, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. Okay, Toastmasters, let's move on to our second speaker. Our second speaker is attempting L5P1 speech. And the speech length, 18 to 22 minutes. Path name is Presentation Mastery and the project name is Prepare to Speak Professionally. Evaluators for the second speaker, Toastmaster Rahul and DTM Nancy Goel. Please confirm your presence, evaluators.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Our second speaker is attempting L5P1 speech. To say about our second speaker, she is a certified soft skills and POSH trainer and aspiring image consultant. She is passionate about connecting with people, understanding their stories, helping them grow through meaningful conversations. She finds joy in cooking and nurturing the garden, both deeply grounding pursuits that keep her connected to the present. Dear Toastmasters, please put your hands together to welcome our second speaker, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. And the speech title is Flip the Script. Flip the Script, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal.
Every few years, the life I have carefully built begins to feel a little too predictable, a little too safe or comfortable. Good evening, Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Does this idea resonate with you? That gentle nudge inside me is whispering, there's got to be more like than this. This is usually my signal to pause and ask, what is that one thing that is making me most uncomfortable? So what I do, I shift my gears, I channel my energy into learning something new or unlearning something that no longer serves me. And in the process, what I've done, I've reignited excitement, discover new parts of myself, and quietly shed many fears along the way. But some fears, I tell you, they stayed longer than they should have been. And that brings me to another question, one that has echoed in my ears for quite a long time. Who would I be if I hadn't been afraid? And with nearly 5 decades behind me, my heart often answers with an ache. Miles and miles ahead, Renu. If and only if you hadn't let that fear lead the way. Lately, I find myself asking this question more often, especially when I am urging my teenage son or nudging my just now an adult son to take those bold steps, which once I hesitated to take. Gabbys, because fear didn't just whisper, it quietly shaped the boundaries which I was capable of. That belief of mine that I am not capable enough, it costed me more than the truth ever could have. It costed me my joy, my freedom, and what might I could have been. But somehow, along the journey, something really shifted for me. I have started to falling in love, and not with a person here, with the idea of breaking free, not from people, not from my responsibilities, for anything that triggers me and keeps me stuck. It could be something like, what if I lose my money if I'm investing on something? What if I seem so rude? If I'm inconsiderate? What if I fail or fall or maybe disappoint someone? Now, when I feel that discomforting rising in me, I just pause and smile to myself because I know I have found the next wall which is ready to break. And more often than that, on the other side of that fear is a version of me, which I've been waiting to meet. No. It was not the end of my 5-minute sharing, Toastmasters. I still have this beautiful virtual platform, for another 15 minutes. And I want to use every moment of this to share something that really changed me. If I may request everyone just to quickly grab a pen and a paper. You might need them to write. Now that you have found your piece of paper and that pen handy, now I will take you further ahead. Because finding the new version of myself was not a very simple thing. Turning my fear from my captor into my compass, that didn't just happen. It had a process, and I want to share that process and hope that maybe, just maybe, someone here today needs to hear it. Because truthfully, at some point or another, we all have been there, standing in that quiet, uneasy space between who we are and to who we could have been. Among us today, there could be someone who is just holding back to start that business they have been quietly dreaming of, or to speak their truth because they didn't want to rock the boat. They don't want to offend anybody. Or maybe somebody is here who wants to apply for the job they secretly hope for. Or maybe they are just afraid to walk away from a life that no longer serves them. Now, what is that fear? What is that voice in your head? It is not just nerves. It is not just hesitation. Toastmasters, it's your belief system speaking. And our beliefs, they are much like the invisible fences. They are not made of bricks or barbed wires. They can still hold us back. And we don't see them, but we just stop short of our potential. It is not because we are incapable, because we somewhere along the way were taught not to try crossing over. Much like that elephant story, who was trained from youth with a tiny rope or a small chain, but who today stopped testing his strength, forgetting that he has long outgrown the limits that once bound him. And here is something that truly changed how I see myself. Now, not every belief I think I carry is mine. Some were passed down quietly like some age-old recipes that are carried forward in the family. Some were shaped by the world that no longer updates. Yes, those beliefs are outdated. And they just slip in our lives unnoticed, whispered to by voices of the OTT or the comments from the relatives or even the AI curated posts on social media. We just saw ourselves. Our world doesn't always come from the people in our homes or the offices like we interact with. So we may not be influenced by these people because we are hardly interacting with them. Just a moment back, a few minutes back, the speaker of the day, another speaker, she shared that we are so glued with the technology. So it does, we don't interact more with the people, we interact more with the technology. So those voices, those beliefs, they are slipping into our lives with something perfectly timed reel. Or maybe from that quote, which does sound wise, but makes us doubt ourselves. And before we know, we are living by the rules we never consciously agreed to. This invisible script that decides how you show up, what you settle for, who you dare to become. And once these beliefs sneak in, they start sounding like your own voice, and you start acting like them. You start acting as the voice dictates you. And you very well know them. It could be something like, you are too old to start over. It could be, don't speak up, you will sound silly. You always mess things up. Stay safe, don't risk it. Haven't we heard such statements? But let's not mistake limiting beliefs only as voices of doubts or insecurities. They may come as a very bold declarations. They may wear the mask of overconfidence. Let me give you some examples. Something like, I have been handling things on my own. I don't need help. I am too experienced. I'm too experienced and this new team cannot help me learn anything new. Or something like, people either like me or just leave. People may like me as I am, or they may just leave. Toastmasters, these are two beliefs. These are two voices that needs to be challenged because they are shutting the doors. Now take a moment. Can you think of any such voice that just like surfaced, not from maybe 5 years from now, or maybe just in the last 5 minutes? Something just popped up when I just started speaking about these beliefs, or when I ask you to reflect. Can you think of any such voice in your head? Can anybody like to share with your raise of hand? Yes, Priya?
So I had this limiting belief that I'm not good at technology, and
Right.
every time I had to learn some new tool on AI, or just generally explore even
Right.
something like the Zoom, it would give me the shivers, like, okay, I'm going to make a mistake. So
Yes.
that's a limiting belief that I'm really trying to cross over, and I have people support to help me do that. But yeah,
Right.
this is one
But
of the.
what I understand from your sharing is that you have the limiting belief of making a mistake. We want to appear perfect, right? So the underlining is not the tech being tech savvy. It has been uh, not making mistakes. Just retain that thought with you. Yes, Samita, can I have that word belief from you?
Yes, I had this limiting belief that I need to be perfect, otherwise people will judge me. So
Right.
it is a post or it is something on social media, I would overthink, and not take that step to do it.
Brilliant. So what I want you to do, just hold this thought. Uh, I cannot see everyone here. If somebody else is raising their hands, can anybody wants to make a share? Now, let's continue. I see nobody. Okay, yes, Mamta.
Belief is the silent force that turns possibility into reality. What you hold in your heart shapes what you create in your life.
Wow, wonderful thought. Wonderful. Now, for all those limiting beliefs that few of us just shared, and still few of you who haven't shared, I still see you. I still see the challenge that you might not like to admit in the meeting. But I want you to associate that belief with an identity. Yes, it is not your own voice. Give that voice a name. Identify that voice a name. It will take you some time, but if you can do it now, it is perfect. It could be something as playful like it could be doubtful Dheeraj or a perfect pile. Just for Samita ji, somebody in her life had been given her that perfectionist appeal. So perfect pile or a critical couple. Now by naming that voice, what you do is something very powerful. You separate yourself from that belief. That belief is no longer your own. So you are not stopping yourself. You stop giving it the microphone. You start taking it back. Now, what is the name of the voice that has been holding you back? Would anybody like to share? Priya or Samita, do you identify any names?
Okay, let me name it as perfectionist Sudha.
Okay, perfectionist. Perfect. Perfect. That's great. So it doesn't have to be something big or dramatic. Believe me, it can be as simple as just like Priya said, I'm not tech savvy, or people will judge me, right? We are so scared. We are so afraid that people will judge us. So we can give it Techie Tina or Judgy Jyoti or a silent Sameer. So it is not we to blame for what we are doing. It is the Jyoti, Sameer, Tina, or the Kapil or Payal to blame. So if you are comfortable, we can go ahead. So I'll be sharing my own voice of like fear also with you. I wasn't always aware of my own limiting beliefs, frankly. For the longest time, I thought they were just me being practical, mature, and socially appropriate. But one day I realized something very strange. Even though I feel very excited trying new things, maybe it's cooking, maybe a new dress, for an instance, like wearing a frock dress, which is quite popular these days, a voice would pop up and say, is this really appropriate at your age? And just like that, imagine, just like that, my joy of wearing that frock dress was replaced by judgment. It wasn't until I began my training in image management that I could finally see what it was. It was not my voice, it was the voice of that sanskari surveillance society. So they are always watching us. They're always judging. Probably we are also part of it. I'm afraid we are always telling our others what is too much for them and what is too much for someone like me. But guess what? That belief, I have outgrown it. And today, I proudly own not one but 3 flock dresses. And I wear them with immense confidence and immense joy, no matter the occasion. So what mattered was the authenticity. And how did I discover my authenticity? Was my training that helped me in image management. So in image management, I was told there are different lines, shapes, styles, and colors, which are true to me, true to my energy, true to my personality, true to my stage of life. And when I dress up from that place, age and opinions lose their grip. Isn't that liberating? Now that I've shared mine, I invite you to do another powerful exercise. Think of the same limiting beliefs which has been echoing in your mind. Now let's try and flip that script and right here now. Instead of something like, I'm too old to start over, you can try saying, I have lived through enough to begin again with wisdom on my side. Instead of, no one wants to hear my story, what if I say, someone needs to hear my story, what I have lived through? Or if somebody feels my story is too messy, too painful, or too personal to share, then I would suggest my mess is my message. This is what you should tell yourself. What if somebody is telling themselves, what if I fail? Right? Priyaji, that is for you. What if I fly? What if I become the perfect in technology? So, just like Samita ji only said, I must appear perfect. So for her, she should say, my authenticity is more powerful than my image. There are others who don't like to slow down, and they fear if I slow down, I will fall behind. To them, I have a change of script. Flip the script. Rest is productive. Pause is power. So now take 30 seconds if anybody would like to flip their script and share with me. And then I will share my own. Yes, Mamta. Yes, Samita. Anybody? Priyaji? You can borrow my script, my examples too.
You have already told mine.
Okay, you take that.
Self,
okay, don't worry. Okay,
The
now
script
let's
that you
see.
shared was also perfect for me. Thank you.
Yes. So these shifts are really one to be celebrated about, right? And each shift counts. So what a powerful, power and the strength that you feel when you say such positive words to your own self. So now I'll share my own script. Instead of questioning myself, is my dress appropriate? So what I do is I tell myself, I dress to express and not to impress. And that is always appropriate. Dear Toastmasters and esteemed guests, beliefs don't appear overnight. They come from what we are told repeatedly, what we experience and interpret, what society rewards or rejects. And once a belief takes root, it filters what we notice. It becomes our lens. It becomes our bias, regretfully, a silent editor of our potential. But beliefs, my dear friends, are not facts. They are just the stories we agreed to. And these stories we can always rewrite. Revisit your story that you've been telling yourself, the one that says you can't, you shouldn't, or don't deserve to. Rewrite it, reclaim it. Replace that old voice and doubt the one with courage. Because fear might have written parts of your past, but courage is drafting your future. Don't forget, beliefs are stories and they are agreed to. You can choose to believe in the version that sets you free. So don't rush for any answers. Just let those questions, let those limiting beliefs echo in your mind, and then you can identify those the people behind those voices, a group or the community behind it, and then replace with a positive script. And this is how we flip the script. So sometimes questioning alone is enough to bring that shift. And stand tall and say yourself, that is who I am, and unapologetically. Thank you. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. It's an insightful speech. A big round of applause to our second speaker, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. Dear Toastmasters, with this great energy, let's move on to the next session, that is general evaluation session. Let's call today's general evaluator, Toastmaster Sravan, to have a detailed general evaluation of today's meeting. A big round, let's welcome today's general evaluator, Toastmaster Sravan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kala, and fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Welcome back to General Evaluation session. Let us start with the speech evaluations first. Today we have two wonderful speakers. The first speaker is Toastmaster Mamta Jain. Toastmaster Mamta Jain's speech is going to evaluate by Toastmaster Sourav and Toastmaster Sreehari. Let me introduce the first evaluator, Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. DTM Sourav Dutta is a two-time distinguished Toastmaster.
Toastmaster Shravan, the first evaluator is Sreehari, and then the second evaluator is DTM Sourav.
DTM Sourav, okay. Apologies for that. Let me introduce the first evaluator for today. Toastmaster Sreehari is an engineer by profession and a learner at heart. He enjoys reading books, working out, and has recently begun his journey into public speaking. Toastmaster Sreehari, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Please go ahead and evaluate Toastmaster Mamta Jain's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator Shravan, and good evening, everyone, and especially to my target speaker, Mamta Jain. What a flawless speech that was. And what a way to start with a rhetorical question. When was the last time that you have gone past an hour without looking into our phone? That got us questioning. And I'm pretty sure all of us, including me, have questioned a big no. And we are all deeply guilty of it. We had gone past an hour without looking into the phone or checking the notifications. And you have also stated the fact that how it has taken our focus, peace, and joy. And even the fact that reading, even for the 5 minutes, was seemingly an impossible task. It was all very relatable to all of us, and I must say we are all deeply guilty of it. And you have stated the reason why are we feeling this, and why should we be aware of this and without going with in the autopilot mode. That was the great way to start your speech, and the body started with your explanation on the digital diet, and your experience of how you have uh, overcome that what we shouldn't be going through, that is not looking into the screen altogether. What a way to, and even come to the conclusion that why we are sharing with all of us, and it's not just surviving, but we are all savoring it. I must say it had a great starting and body and conclusion. If there's one thing that I would want you to work on, is the voice modulation. The speech had all the content, but if it had the voice modulation, for example, starting from the high pitch, that would have made a lot more impact in the audience. The one way to learn this is to observe the speakers, some of the great speakers inside the Gabbys and anywhere in the Toastmasters. I have been told this time and again, uh, to have the voice modulation. And if we have a look at any of the speakers, they had a great range of voice modulation, and that only adds impact to the words that they are speaking. That is all from my end. Your content, your body language, your idea structure, and the purpose was truly flawless and absolutely engaging. And I wish you all the best and look forward to you for more speeches. Thank you, and over to the general evaluator.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Sreehari. Let us go to the second evaluator. Today, our second evaluator for Toastmaster Mamta Jain's speech is DTM Sourav Dutta. He is a two-time distinguished Toastmaster and a contest winner and mentor who has completed all 11 Toastmaster path with 20 plus years of experience in leadership in analytics and marketing. He now runs Practive, a social enterprise supporting students, MSMEs, and women entrepreneurs. He is also a proud father to a young cricketer who inspires his passion for growth and service. Let us welcome Toastmaster Sourav. Everybody give a big round of applause. And Toastmaster Sourav, stage is yours.
Mamta, to be very honest, you lost me in the first 30 seconds of your speech. Because I was absolutely sure I'm listening to the 1347th speech on digital detox, on using my mobile less, on spending less screen time. In fact, I was in a conference for the last 2 days where this is all I heard for the last 2 days. And I was like, oh no, not again. But then, interestingly, you did not talk about digital detox. You did not talk about digital detachment. You talked about digital diet, and that got me hooked. That sounds interesting. That sounds doable because someone sitting in front of a computer telling me not to sit in front of a screen sounds a bit hypocritical to me, right? So you did not tell me to do that. And that is what makes your speech very sincere and very authentic. Now, delivering a speech like this needs you to make it relatable and rememberable. How did you make it rememberable? By giving us some very solid punchlines, and I've made a note of it, and I'll be guilty of stealing a few of them. Like, for example, you said fully, mindfully, joyfully. What a beautiful line, a triad. You are not just surviving each day, you are living it. Wow. And then how would you make it relatable? By some practical outlooks. You did not give us global gyan. You said you give clear tips. Reduce the number of pics you take on a picnic. Click less, soak more. Absolutely doable. So touch and feel. That's how advice and suggestion should be like. Doable. Now, your content was extremely strong. So both my commendations are on your content. And I've got two recommendations, both of which are on your delivery. You started with a question. And I think I was confused and you were confused whether that question was a rhetorical question or a question to the audience. Because you asked a question and then you did not give us a chance to give a response to it. It seemed more like a formality. You know, someone told you, start it with a question to engage the audience. You just put a question and did not wait for my answer. You moved on. If you asked me a question, let me answer that question, right? So that is the first recommendation. Second, all said and done, digital detox is a topic or digital diet is a topic beaten to death. So that kind of a topic, if you're delivering, it's a dry topic, right? So add a bit of emotions, engagement, expressions. When you're saying, scrolling to the phone, reading the book, writing a journal, add something to it to make it a little bit more connected. So to sum it up, a beautiful topic, beaten to death, but the novelty that you added to it actually made it so much more relatable, rememberable, and repeatable. Your punchlines and your practical outlook made it possible. In terms of recommendation, be careful if it's a question or rhetorical question and what do you want from us, and add expressions, emotions, and engagement to make it more empathic. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Saurav. Let us move to the next speaker is Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. Toastmaster Renu Kaushal's speech is going to evaluate by Toastmaster Rahul and Toastmaster Nancy. First evaluator is Toastmaster Rahul, who is a network engineer at Walmart, who enjoys solving complex connectivity challenges. Outside of work, he loves running, biking, and exploring new places, also curious. He's up for meaningful conversations and new connections. Toastmaster Rahul, are you ready? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause and welcome Toastmaster Rahul to on stage to evaluate Toastmaster Mamta. Sorry, Renu Kaushal.
First of all, kudos to my speaker, Toastmaster Renu. You survived the 22 minutes of giving a keynote speech. I can sense the relief in your face right now. So, starting with that, you picked up a topic which is fear of failing and what you could have been if you didn't have that fear. This is again a topic that I thought, like, as time went on, like, is it going to be generic as always? You know, you go click on a YouTube video, you know, you see these multiple people just talking about it over and over and again. But what you did was not that. You did not do that. You shared your own experience, what it was before, and how you kind of overcame it. So that kind of gave a good authenticity to what you're trying to say. And didn't feel like one of those AI videos or YouTube videos that we watch when we feel low or like bored. Also, initially when you picked up the mic or your speech, you had us hooked. You know, I was thinking, what is she about to say next? And you said fear of failing, what I could have been. This put us all in a spot. We have all been there, right? We always think what we could have been if certain things didn't stop us. You add us hooked at there itself. That's a very brilliant way of, you know, bringing up a topic that as I felt is very overused everywhere. But you put a hook to it and you kind of engaged us initially there itself. So good kudos to the youth that as well. And also, you also didn't like in the midway of your speech, you made sure that you're engaging the audience as well, right? So that's the main thing when you deliver long speeches. It's important that you kind of get the audience in as well because it is a long duration of time. You did that as well, and you also gave enough space, stage or space time for them to tell their own views on this. These are all the good points I thought. But let me tell you like certain points which I felt you could have improved first, or you know, it could have been done better. First of all, when you're giving a speech midway, there was a point where you kind of just paused and you looked a very bit nervous over there. And everything was going well. You know, you had us hooked and we were all like ready to listen. All of a sudden, that pause, right? It kind of just breaks that entire momentum that you built up. So that was one thing which I felt that you could have just mastered, or at least in a way you could have just had a short conversation with someone, just picked up someone and just started talking about it when you said people can pick up their papers and pen. That's one thing. And also, there was a story where you said elephant story, right? Which I didn't get it because it just came out of context. There was no context behind that story. So whenever you deliver a speech like this, it's good that you give us a lot of context on what it is because you have enough ample amount of time, right? That's one thing. And also, since it's a long speech, I felt the first part of the speech you did not give a good story, you know, where we could kind of relate to or kind of remember to. You had us hooked in the front. There was a bit of missing. Again, you kind of miraculously you picked it up, and I felt in the second part of your speech, you sort of interacting with people, and again the momentum came over there itself. Also, on an off note, your video, since we are an online platform, you know, video matters a lot. And your background and the way you gave a speech was like so radiating. I felt like it was like you're talking from heaven. So it was like too bright for me to even like look at you. So it's something you can just look into because it is an online platform again, right? So coming back to my points, a good topic. You had us hooked. It is a good thing. It was relatable. And second thing is you started with a good punchline, good for that, and also a topic which all of us could relate to, and you didn't make it boring at all. You made sure that it was something which we all could talk about. Certain things is like work on these technical things is just small, but it makes a good impactful things as you keep doing it. And also, like I would suggest that give a good context even when you say that. Let's say you say that you couldn't wear a dress and you felt you couldn't, right? People judge you. Times like that, you could like put on a very good story, right? You can make a good story out of it, and you can just tell us a good, nice, fun story. We can all remember it by. And also, like whenever you look a bit nervous, you know, just try filling it up with either a question or kind of like engaging with somebody else. But overall, I had a lot of fun while doing a speech, and honestly speaking, I didn't know 22 minutes went by as if it was nothing. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Renu, and I look forward to your future speeches. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. Let us go to the next evaluator, DTM Nancy. DTM Nancy is director and partner at Practive Consulting, supporting MSMEs, nonprofits, and corporates across India. With over 10 years of entrepreneurial experience, she specializes in business intelligence and data analytics. She is the charter president and current VP Education of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. I request all of you give a big round of applause and welcome Toastmaster Nancy onto the virtual stage to evaluate Toastmaster Renu speech. Renu speech. Toastmaster Nancy, stage is yours.
Toastmaster Renu, flip the script. The moment I heard the title, I was intrigued. Oh, wait. This was already covered by the first evaluator. Let me flip the script and then talk about the points which are not covered yet. So let me start by talking about your presence of mind. The moment you introduced the speaker who has spoken right before you, I was like, oh my God, she was there in the meeting. She was not just sitting at the back rehearsing her speech. She incorporated something which has happened just recently. That shows the presence of mind of the speaker, and that's a brilliant move that you have had in your speech today. The second thing that I felt in your speech that worked in your favor was the comfort. The question that you asked the audience was the voices that's there in your head. Being someone who has dealt with imposter syndrome for quite a long time, I would never want to share those voices out loud. But despite that, you had 2 to 3 people coming forward and telling you what they generally feel. And that's where your presence as a speaker, bringing that comfort for the audience matters a lot. So these were 2 really beautiful points that you brought as a speaker. Since I'm talking more on delivery aspect and less on content, I'll continue to share few areas of improvement, some recommendations from my side. You started with the question, does that idea resonate with you? When you have a question like this, I, as an audience, I was just wondering what idea was I supposed to respond to that, or was I supposed to just listen to that? So what was it, a hyperfora or a rhetorical question? It depends how long the pause is. The pause for that question was so brief that I was just thinking, shall I respond? But it was not brief enough that I felt that it was a hyperfora. It was just a reflective question for me. So that's where I felt a few pauses for questions like these would have helped audience to understand whether they need to respond or just to reflect. The second thing I felt in your session was being a keynote speaker is not easy. You have to maintain the energy throughout. Talking for 2 to 3 minutes as an evaluator versus 18 to 22 minutes as a keynote speaker, you need to maintain very high energy. I felt that the energy as a speaker was a little low, although the topic was more on limiting beliefs and your energy was more about reflecting and triggering people to understand how they can reflect and think more. But the energy as a speaker reflects on the other people as well, where I felt that energy enthused in the audience was a little less. You could have come across as a more energetic speaker than what you showed today. So that's where I felt you could have done better. So 2 points to summarize my entire evaluation, 2 points where you excelled at: comfort for the audience and your presence of mind. And 2 points where you can do better is energy in the keynote session and pauses. That's my evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy. So that's the conclusion of the speech.
Okay, looks like our G is stuck with his internet. In the meanwhile,
Still,
let's move on.
sorry.
Okay, you're back. Please carry on.
As per the plan, but we're still in 9:30 or 9:27. We're still in the general evaluation round. So this is main thing. I mean, maybe we need to look into it. The time point of view, we have started on time at 7:30. Let me
Master Sravan, we are losing you in between. If you can choose to switch off your video.
Sorry, what happened?
We are not able to hear you in between. We are losing you in between. So
Oh,
if you
okay.
can switch off your video, I think that will help.
Okay. Is it audible now?
Yeah, it
Am I
is audible.
audible? Am I?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you are.
Fine. Yeah, sure. Fine. So Toastmaster Priya started with a poetic expression that was really catching for this meeting. It was really nice and well explained the ground rules. I mean, what are all the ground rules we have already set. Your tone, you setting the tone for this meeting was awesome. I really liked it. And you have also added the feelings and emotions in your way of communicating your role. I really liked it. I don't have any major recommendations on that Toastmaster Priya. It was awesome. Maybe you introspect and bring some more improvement in that. Next, coming to the our presiding officer, Toastmaster Samita Kar. Toastmaster Samita Kar was energetic and connected with all the audience. I mean, inviting the guests and finding from where they are coming from and all. That was really nice. As a PO, it was really uh, good thing. And you involved the audience. That was really nice. Um, and only one recommendation is maybe if we can introduce the Toastmasters International, because a few of the guests are very new to the Toastmasters. If you can introduce the Toastmaster International as an organization, a brief intro in the starting of your PO address would have added more weightage to the PO role today. That's the only recommendation I would like to give. And coming to the Toastmaster of the today, Toastmaster theme, which is a fear, which is part and parcel of everyone's life. You know, in that way, it was connected to everybody. That was really nice attempt. Only recommendation I have is maybe if we have the agenda has a set of steps in defined. So suddenly, if you are changing, if you are missing the changing the agenda sequence, it gives a bit confusion. For example, when I was as a G, I was introducing the toggle team. So in between, the timer was stopped. After introducing the timer, it was stopped, interrupted in between, and I could not introduce the rest of the role players as of now. So because of that, it was that was a learning from us. Agenda, I was following the agenda, so it was a deviation for me. Anyway, the next time onwards, if we stick to the agenda, those confusions will be avoided. That's the only recommendation I have. And also, if we can come up with without looking at personally, without looking at the paper, if you can try to uh, host the meeting, it would add more value personally to you. That's the only recommendation I have. Next, coming to the next toggle team, the timer for today, Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi, you have introduced your timer role properly, and it was like a standard way of executing the timer role. But only one recommendation is you're so serious when you're giving your role, addressing the what role you're going to play. If you can bring some emotion, some kind of fun to your expressing things, it will be easy. Otherwise, it is like so serious when you're addressing that. So that seriousness, if you can remove that, you're a fantastic role player for any role, I can say. That was my observation, personal observation. And coming to the next role player is grammarian and listener. I request Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi, can you share the report? Is there any disqualifications on time basis?
Sure, Toastmaster Shravan.
Yeah.
So in terms of speakers today,
Yeah.
uh, There's one disqualification by Toastmaster Renu. It's overtime. And in terms of the evaluations, we have again one disqualification from Toastmaster Rahul, but rest all are qualified.
Okay, thank you. Next, let us go to the language evaluator for today, Toastmaster Samita Kar. Toastmaster Samita, I couldn't introduce you as a language evaluator, but request you to share your language evaluation for today.
Yes, as a language evaluator, I had to check the ahs and ums and the good usage rhetorical devices. So I'm sorry I can't share the report right now because this is the first time I'm taking the role. I have written it down and I will definitely post it later. We had very good usage from our educational speaker today. Text to voice and text to music alteration. Personification is you give it a prompt, it creates music. Metaphor, digital memory for the recall feature. Magic for AI capabilities. He used some very good noteworthy phrases. Gandalf the Grey having filter coffee in Bangalore. Very imaginative. You give it a prompt and it creates music out of it. Very simple and clear illustration. Voiceover are so good. Speaker Mamta Jain, the phone was checking me. Attention span returned like a lost friend. Simile, attention span returned. Then she used personification. Phone was checking me. FOMO would creep in. Next, she used the words like no deleting everything and going to the mountain. In the slowness, you meet yourself. Toastmaster Renu, she used the word gentle touch inside me is whispering. The fear that lead the way, the next wall ready to break. Simile, not direct. Hyperbole, 5 decades behind me. Noteworthy phrases were the gentle touch inside me is whispering. Who would I be if I hadn't been afraid? Toastmaster, then we had our distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. He used the word like fully, mindfully, joyfully, digital that, not TikToks, touch and feel. That's how a suggestion should be. I will paste this report in the chat later. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samita. In fact, I also learned a lot of new words today: digital detox, digital diet, digital detox. Thank you so much for the language evaluation. Next, let us go to the listener for today, Toastmaster Priya. Would you like to share your report quickly? Assessment, listening assessment.
Okay, everyone's ready for a rapid fire listening round. I want to see how you all performed while listening from the speeches to the evaluations and everything in between. So here we begin. The first question is, Speaker 1 spoke of following a diet. What was the diet?
Digital diet.
Excellent, wonderful. Speaker 2 spoke of her fear. What was her fear? It was the fear of
Failing.
failing. Excellent. Our educational speaker spoke about a type of AI which helps in generating text.
Agenetic AI.
Sorry?
Generative AI. Generative
Very
AI.
good. Excellent. If you are planning a trip, which type of AI can help you plan your trip, book the hotels, book the tickets?
Agentic AI.
Superb. You all have been wonderful listeners, and I hand the baton back to the general evaluator. Thank you so much for patiently listening.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Priya. Now let us step into the speeches, evaluations, and evaluating the speech evaluators. First, today we have a education session by Joel Joseph. It was a fantastic education session. I thoroughly enjoyed the entire session, Toastmaster Joseph. A lot of knowledge sharing. I learned a lot from your session. Thank you so much for sharing us, and especially the questions which was raised by the audience was also very thought provoking. I really enjoyed. I think it is the time to all the generative AI or AI tech service need to think in that angle as well. You need to form one forum to think to avoid adverse effects. That was really a thought provoking session. I'm so happy to join this meeting as a listener. As a general evaluator, it was really nice. Maybe I would like to give you one recommendation. Maybe if the length of your education session, if you would have increased, more interesting questions would have covered from the audience. I feel your Q&A session was a bit short. Maybe next time we will plan Q&A session with more time. Next, coming to the first speaker, Toastmaster Samita. Toastmaster Samita, your content was really nice, and it was evaluated by Toastmaster Sreehari. Toastmaster Sreehari, your evaluation was very
First
crisp.
speaker was Mamta Jain.
Yeah,
Toastmaster
Mam. Yes, I said Mamta, right? Okay, first speaker was Mamta Jain. So first speaker Mamta Jain's speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Sreehari. Toastmaster Sreehari, you have your recommendations and commendations were encouraging to the speaker. It was really nice. The only recommendation I would like to give you is keep it in a format for what recommendation you want to give and what commendation and what was the challenge you would like to give it to the speaker. Crisp and clear, that would definitely add value for your evaluation. Coming to the next evaluator, Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. Toastmaster Sourav Dutta's evaluation was is like a benchmark evaluation where all the evaluators maybe look into the evaluation, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed. He's very straight to the point, and he had given a clear. It was encouraging as well as it's not hurting the. Though he is giving recommendations, it's not hurting to the speaker. It was also kind of encouragement. I really liked that evaluation. Coming to the second speaker, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal speech. Toastmaster Renu Kaushal, your speech was a very lengthy speech, and it was really nice, and your body language was very appropriate. As much is required for the emotion, you have used your body language. That was really, I really liked it. And only recommendation is your body language was good, and the emotion was your voice vocal variety was good, but your eyes are not aligned with that emotion. Maybe if you can work on that, it will definitely add value to your speech. And next, coming to the Toastmaster Rahul. Toastmaster Rahul, your evaluation was also very encouraging to the speaker. I really like that encouragement way of evaluation. The only recommendation I would like to give you is the evaluation time is very less, it's within 3 minutes. If you can 1 minute use dedicate for the commendation, and 1 minute for recommendation, 1 minute for challenging the speaker, that would help you to manage the time. That is really essential for that. Otherwise, your evaluation was good. Maybe you just keep an eye on timing part of it. And coming to the Toastmaster Nancy is it's like a benchmarking. I really liked your evaluation, Toastmaster Nancy. You're very crisp and bullet points. You have what is that I wanted to convey to the speaker. You have a very clear and crisp bullet points that this is the area I wanted. You want to bring the improvement and all. I really like that evaluation. Maybe one recommendation I would like to give you is even if you look at the eye contact of the speaker, and also she's confined to only few audience while interacting with the audience. She's comfortable with only few audience, right? She's when interacting, she's only looking at Mamta, Samta, and Priya. Only these audience there she is comfortable. Maybe that kind of recommendation would have added value to her. That is the only recommendation I'd like to give. Overall, the meeting was really nice, informative, and education session was knowledge sharing. It was really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed. Only thing is we need to focus on the time management and agenda planning itself. Suppose if it is a lengthy meeting, we should not fix the same timeline which we do for every Thursday, every Tuesday meeting. Maybe based on the length of the speech, we need to alter our timelines and try to fit the timelines accordingly. That's the only recommendation from overall meeting point of view. Otherwise, it was a wonderful meeting. With that, I would like to conclude my general evaluation and hand over the stage back to our TMOD Toastmaster Kala.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A big round of applause to our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sravan Kumar. Okay, Toastmasters, what is the opposite word for fear?
Courage.
Courage, yes.
Brave.
Ah, yes, correct. Courage. Dear Toastmasters, there is a famous saying in Sanskrit, Dhairyam Sarvatra Sadhanam. Means if we have courage, we can overcome all sort of fear. With this, let us inculcate courage in our day-to-day life and let us overcome our fear. With this, I would like to hand it over this session to our President, Toastmaster Samita Kar, to announce the results of today's meeting. Thank you all. And over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us hear it for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Kala. It was a wonderful session and there was so much learning. Today, we had a very good educational session, but I would love to hear it from the guests who have come, who have stayed back. I can see Sachin. Sachin, are you a visiting Toastmaster or a guest? Would you like to share a quick feedback of 15 to 20 seconds?
Yes, so I am a guest. This is my second session which I am attending. Okay. The previous one I attended in person, and this is the first virtual session I attended. It was a wonderful session. There is a lot to learn from educational speaker as well, and the other two speaker. And we also get I also get insights from the evaluators, like the way the parameters on which they are evaluating. So that is a great addition to my knowledge of what points I need to take care while delivering a speech. So thank you for those feedbacks. It's really valuable. And overall, I enjoyed this particular session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I can see Subia. Subia Sautar, would you like to come on camera and tell us you have attended the meeting? Any feedback for us? We would definitely like to know.
Hello, everyone. This is my first time. I'm Subia Sadat. I'm a Toastmaster at Garden City Toastmasters Club in Bangalore. and this is my first session on online Toastmasters. I thoroughly enjoyed the entire session. The educational session was the first thing which grabbed my attention on the VPPR group. And from that day, it was I was waiting curiously and eagerly to join the session. And I should really say that it was a wonderful, fruitful, and fantastic session. Thank you so much, Joel, for that wonderfully. And I should really appreciate the time taken, and at the same time presenting it and giving the demo as well. That was so thoroughly covered. The very few words which I can say for that is it was well catered. And of course the two speakers were amazing. Again, I got to learn so much that I never knew that online Toastmasters meeting also could be this interesting and fun. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to join here. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much for your kind words. We would definitely love you to come back again and join our club.
Thank you.
Yes, as you have said, the learning of today's educational session, though we had a fixed time, it seemed so less. We would love to hear a little more and little more, and that's what is about an exceptional speaker. When you make the people around you feel that you should go on, continue giving us the knowledge. Even for a non-technological person like me who has difficult typing, was interested in listening to what AI has for us in future. And as I speak, so please keep on voting, because we have our speakers today and we do have the role takers, and please keep on voting. I can see Joanne. Joanne, welcome back. After a long time, you have come back to the club. Please let us know your thoughts about this session.
I apologize. I have some power issues at my end. That's why I'm not on video. And it's always great to come back to Gabby's. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And today's session is a little special for me. And I'm so glad because maybe I think you can guess it from the name, but Joel is my brother. And to see my brother, shine as a speaker and on this stage, especially in Gabby's, and all the praise and accolades that you guys are giving him, it's like very proud and happy moment for me also, standing on the sideline and seeing him achieving all that he's achieving right now. So really a special meeting for me overall. Thank you so much. And obviously, Joe, fantastic. You rocked it. The hard work has paid off. You know that. All the best. Thank you, guys.
Yes. And on a lighter note, Joan, you're not going to evaluate him today.
Oh, he told me. You won't believe. I didn't know he was the speaker. He didn't know I was the general evaluator. And he literally called me up in the morning and he was like, you won't evaluate the education sessions, right? So I said, G doesn't evaluate. And now I was like, Murphy's law, power is not there. So I couldn't be the G. So he's lucky that way. Anyways.
Wow, that's great. And now we have our results. Today, we have the best auxiliary role taker is our Sergeant at Arm, Priya, who was also the listener today. So kudos to Priya. Our best role taker was our TMOD, Kala, and best evaluator, none other than distinguished Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. So with that, this meeting, best speaker, no one asked for that.
Speaker.
We have
Yeah,
best
because,
speaker, yes. Best
yeah,
speaker
no, the
is
one speaker got disqualified. So by default, the best speaker
best speaker is Toastmaster Mamta. So this meeting comes to an end. We will see you on Saturday in a hybrid meeting. Good night. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everyone. Good night.
Rest well.
Bye-bye. Good
Night.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mm, where is the oh, Priya ji, you're there. Where is the music that Sourav has just shared? Some music he has shared, no, which he has done
It
with
was
the.
beautiful. It was beautiful.
I didn't hear. I was
Interesting.
busy
Oh,
doing
it
other
was
work.
lovely.
I want that. Wait, don't close it. I will just check that
He
out.
has shared it in the XCOM group.
He shared it in the XCOM
Yeah,
group.
yeah,
Okay,
he
okay.
did.
I'll look. No, I was busy trying to figure
No,
out.
it's not there in the chat. He had shared it
Not
in the
there. Only
XCOM
the
group.
verse is there.
Yeah, yeah. The chat has the wordings, which are
Yeah, yeah,
amazing, and the song is there.
Okay, okay. I'll go and listen to that song.
All right.
Yeah.
Nancy, thank you very much. Good night.
I had a tough time today, Nancy. Filling up that sheet is so difficult. Oh my God, I need to practice.
Okay, good night. Thank
Good.
you.
Come on.
Bye. I'm
Bye.
ending the meeting for all.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure, sure.